Welcome to another market update. Today is March 4th, 2018. Let's start off looking at the VIX from last week. You can see last week it spiked up again after it pulled back from the previous week. And on Tuesday, you can see it spiked up, and then on Friday it peaked, and then it did a little bit of reversal. And that's where we saw the short squeeze come in and run up until OpEx. So we'll take a look at the indexes or the little run up on the various stocks, and also on the ETF a little bit later in this video. But right now we're basically looking at the VIX here. You can see the weekly chart here still is way below this level up here from a few weeks ago. So but again, it is still in a elevated level, near the 20ish. So still anything could happen, and market could still take a dive. So let's take a look at the indexy, and start off with the Dow Jones Industrial. You can see the Dow Jones Industrial also got a little pullback after a Monday follow through from the previous week, but you can see that after 3 consecutive days on Friday, we might getting this a little bit of a dead cat bounce. So we'll take a look at a little bit more of where the levels are on the S&P 500 later on when we take a look at the ETF. And let me clear off some of these little projection here from a couple weeks ago. So we basically was looking at a pullback at these level here at the 2668 area, and as you can see, we were a little bit early. It was this week that I was looking for a pullback to this level, but as you can see, it pushed up to a little bit higher level before it got the pullback back into this 2668 area. So right now we're getting a little bounce. We're not how sustainable this bounce is going to be. Looking at the weekly, you can see that we're at a engulfing week. So it's also a little bit of a bearish candle as well, and we're still above this longer term trend line. So we might see a possibility of coming back down and test the trend line or the recent low. So we just have to keep an eye on that to see what's going to happen in the coming week. And here is the Nasdaq 100. Also, we got an engulfing candle on the weekly basis, and again, same as the S&P. Remember last week I was saying that it did not pull back as much as I expected or anticipating from the Nasdaq 100, and it's pushing close to the all-time high. As you can see, that it tried to get up to the all-time high and then pull back. So last Friday, they're pushing some of the tech stock, especially some of the large cap tech stocks. So you can see how this short squeeze came in. We'll see what transpires in the coming week. And the Russell 2000 seems to be the strongest on Friday, and it's outperformed all the market indexes, primarily because of the tariff on trade, and a lot of people, or at least the markets, believe that right now that the small cap will benefit from that if we enter in a trade war. But in the long run, everybody gonna lose. So because the consumer will lose out big, and inflation will come in and everything like that, then everybody will get hit, and nobody will be able to escape from that. And it could turn out this could be the most bearish later on, because as you can see that there is this potential head and shoulder pattern forming if it come back down here to this neckline. So so sometime things might not seem what it appears. So we have to be careful about the small cap, although right now I think a lot of people might be chasing that based on that that premises about the the possible of tariffs on import. So never know. Okay, we just have to wait until things play itself out. So let me go and switch over to to the SPY and those guys, and also looking at the FANG stock. So let me switch over to the SPY right now. Looking at the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500, you can see the pullback went up to this area here and established a little bit of a low volume area, low volume zone here, and then it kind of got rejected. It won't be able to continue to make up, and got rejected and came back down to one of these high volume zone, this price zone, and kind of chop around. So right now we're basically going to keep an eye on this to see would it be able to come back up to this high volume zone, chop around, and then move back up to the 278 area. But if it can't do that, let's say it come back and chop around over here in the zone and come back down, and we might want to keep an eye on these areas somewhere in the 260 and 259 area. Okay, so want to keep an eye on that. If it unable to hold this price zone up at the 268, 266 area. Okay, this price zone. All right, so that's basically the SPY. And if we take a look at the Q, all right, the Q, you can see that the Q, got close to making a all-time high here. All right. Okay, and then it back off. Right now it's trying to get back into this low volume zone here, and see what it be able to push through and get back up to this this price zone between 169 and 158. I mean 168. If we get back to that zone and get above it, there's a good possibility that this thing will punch through and put in a new all-time high. But if it come back down to this blue zone, chances are we're going to look to see would it get a bounce off of it, a quick rejection. If not, then we might see it to continue to come down and see would it be able to find some support at this 160 area. And if it's not, then we are looking for this thing to come down to the next red zone at this 156 area. And if we take a look at the 30-minute here, you can see how the price action behave. Chop around here, and it came down and it got rejected, and it came down here and it got quick bounce off of this this zone. Didn't spend too much time on it. So right now I want to see would it be able to get back into this this zone, at this 169 area. And if it's not, then we're basically looking for this thing to come back down and possibly retest this 160. Okay, and if it doesn't get a bounce back up, then we're probably looking for this thing to continue to fall down to the 157 area. Okay, and that's the Q. And if we look at the IWM, the Russell ETF, and we can see that very strong day on Friday here, and trying to get back up to this this price zone here between 153.77 and 153. So so we'll see what it be able to get through this zone and get back up and tag this 155.83. This pivot high near that level, and see would it be able to get above that. If it does, then we probably could see it make an attempt to come back up to this 159 area. But if it gets stalled up near this zone here, 153, and it can punch through, then we'll probably see it come back and maybe chop around at this 150. And if it could hold this 150, then maybe it bounce around and make another attempt up. But if it cannot hold this 150, 149 and a half, then we're probably looking for this thing to come back down and to this 145 area, and that would essentially come down and form that right shoulder of this head and shoulder pattern, and that will be something to keep an eye on. Okay, and if we take a look at the 30-minute price action, you can see that there are a lot of chopping going on in this 153, 154 area. Okay, and right here we got quick rejection to here. Well, not quite quick rejection. We did have a little bit of a chop before, a couple of times before it bounces off this price zone and try to make it back up here. So essentially right now we want to see, would it be able to chop here and then make it up, or it's just going to chop and then come back down, right? And then maybe get back down to this 145 area. Okay, so that's the ETF. And let's take a look at the FANG stock, and starting off with the with Facebook. You can see Facebook, it pushed through last Friday, got a follow through, but then on Monday you see this a hangman doji or spinning top, and here it formed a evening star. Then that's pretty usually that is a bearish type of pattern, candle pattern, and you can see that it came down. So right now on Friday, OpEx and everything, who know what kind of trickery the machine is playing. So right now it's got a little bit of a bounce, and want to see would it be able to get back into the zone here between this 180 177 area, and see could it get back push through and take out this this pivot high here and get back up to the 188, or it's just a aberration and it just come back down, and take out the 170 area and come down and test the 166. Okay, so again, if you take a look at a closer look here, we do see a potential head and shoulder pattern, right? If it come down here, right? If you take a look at this, okay, so and here's your neckline here, right? So if we break through this zone, then we'll basically have a breakdown of a head and shoulder pattern, right? So that's Facebook. Okay, let's take a look at the 30-minute price action here. So you can see, right, there's a little bit of a chop here, pushed up and came down. Right? So essentially right now I want to see would it be able to come up here and chop and move up, or would it come up, get rejected, and then come down here and chop, okay, and then get rejected and come down. And this right here is the right shoulder. Right, this is the head of the head and shoulder pattern. Okay, so you can see that. Let me see here. Right, here's the left shoulder and the head. Okay, and then we are forming the watching it to form the potential right shoulder there. And looking at Apple. Apple also have an interesting week. It actually got close to making a new closing high, all-time closing high, but it didn't. Although it did put in a new all-time high here on an intraday basis, right? Then sold off on Thursday and got a little bit of a bounce on Friday here. So it is a pretty strong bounce on Friday, and a lot of people probably like the short got squeezed on that, and also on a OpEx. So what we're going to be keep an eye on is would it be able to push through and into a new all-time high, or would it reverse and come back down and get to the zone here and back to possibly maybe this 165 170 area to 165, right? Because here's the 30 minutes price action you're looking at. Here's the the high that it went up to an all-time high here, and look at how many times it's tried to pushed you and break out of this, and then it finally gave up and come back down. So right now I want to keep an eye to see would it be able to get back up here and take out this high, and then move in and close at a new all-time high, or it just come back, chop around and come in here, and then maybe chop around over here before it come back down to this 165 area. Okay, and looking at Amazon, Amazon actually put in a new all-time closing high last week. You can see that was on Monday, and then it put in a new intraday all-time high. I believe that was on Wednesday, at the 1528.70. Yep, so it was on Wednesday, and you can see on Thursday everybody got sold off, but it made a nice rebound actually, on an intraday basis on Thursday, and then Friday it got a nice bounce, and but unable to get back up to this this price zone here above the 1507 area. Okay, so we kind of keep an eye on the Amazon and see would it be able to get back up on this price and take out the all-time high, or come down and chop around here and get rejected and come back down here to below the 1400 level, okay, to maybe 1385. And Netflix is strong. It got a new all-time high, and it closed at a new all-time high on Friday. So Netflix is really strong here, and it just kind of seems to be keep pushing due. So we just have to keep an eye on it because it is in uncharted territory. So all one could watch is to see what is the price action look like when it pull back, and will we get a little bit of a rejection here, and push back up, or just kind of go right to and come back down to this 270 area and make another test. Okay, so that's Netflix, or if it just continue to run up until it get a little bit of a stall, so if it come up, look for a pullback here to this blue zone to see do we get a rejection back up, get a bounce back up, or does it just slice to it like butter. Then that will give us some clue of the the possibility of lower prices. Okay, and looking at Google, take a look at Google here, and you can see Google came up unable to fill the gap, and it got rejected to in this blue zone here, and right now it's kind of got a little bounce on the red zone on this price zone here. So right now we want to see, is it going to be able to cut to and make another attempt to fill this gap here, or it's going to be get rejected and come back down and retest this this trend line here. And again, if you take a closer look here, what is it forming? Could be a head and shoulder pattern, although this shoulder is the right shoulder a little bit high. Okay, but we could get a breakdown, and if it break below this pivot low here, then we could see a potential head and shoulder type of pattern play out on Google. All right, so those are the FANG stock, and let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia is also showing some strength early on, but then you can see that it is making a little bit of a lower high, right, and possibly a lower low. So even though if it come up here and if it get rejected, then we're basically looking to see, is it going to be able to hold this trend line in this blue zone here, this price zone between 217.77, somewhere around the 218-ish level, and the 224, right, to see if we'll get a bounce, because right now essentially we're looking for maybe some possibility of this type of a price action that could be coming up here on this zone here, this blue zone, and find resistance and just come back down, right, and then maybe get a little bounce off the trend line. Okay, so we just have to keep an eye on Nvidia, although it does show it had a nice bounce on Friday off of this blue zone. Okay, and it could be coming up here, potential rejection at this 239 area, 239, 240. Now, if it breaks through, then you have to take out this pivot high. If you take out this pivot high, then it will negate that lower high and the potential lower low. Then we'll be essentially on watch for possible new all-time high from Nvidia. Okay. The other one we want to take a look at is Alibaba, and Alibaba has been chopping around for quite a bit. Here's this chop zone, this balance zone, basically it's trading band. Although it made a peak and broke out, but it came back within this this zone again. So although it got a nice bounce on Friday, but it's still closed down. So we're going to see, is it going to come back down to the lower end of this this zone and then bounce back again and try to break out, or it's come to this zone and then break down and get into this blue zone and possibly get back to this 155 area. Okay, so again, basically we're looking at these price action zone to see, how the price react when it get to those zone. Okay, so if it get a nice bounce back into this, balance zone here, call it, okay, then probably we'll see prices, make another attempt to go back up to this 191.47 or 191.50 area. Okay, and finally, I haven't talked about Tesla for a while, so let's put up Tesla. Tesla is pretty much similar to Alibaba. You see this big balance zone here. Okay, it's been essentially, although it broke out of this balance a couple times and got rejected up here at this 389-ish area. Okay. And it did put a higher high here on this this pivot high, but again, it's been essentially been confined in this this area here between the 296 and basically 258. So will Tesla come back up and test this 358 level again and try to break out? Or would it reverse and come back down to this 396 area and then bounce around again? Try to bounce back up to the upper bound of this balance zone, or it's just gonna break through and try to test this blue zone and get rejected and work itself down, or just get a little bit of a false breakdown and bounce right back into this balance zone. So those are the things to watch on Tesla, because you can see that a lot of stuff here basically is still in this middle of the zone, and it's pretty hard to try to set up some sort of a trade location in the middle of a zone unless you're doing intraday or day trading. Okay, so basically right now, if you're looking at Tesla, if you're holding Tesla, then you basically see how it's going to react when it get down to this 297 or 296 area, right? Or look at this 257, 258. But definitely I would not be initiating any kind of trade here on this trade location, because it's right in the middle of the zone, and it's also right in the middle of this big mess here. So I really don't know. I mean, if you see something that is standing out to you, that is a good area to initiate a trade, and best to you. I just don't see anything here. So that's it for this week. Hopefully your trading is going well, and if you like this video and you find something useful from this video, please give it a thumbs up by clicking that like, to give a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber of my YouTube channel, click on the button, the subscribe button on the lower bottom right hand corner to subscribe to this video channel. And you could also follow me at Twitter. My handle is smtraderCA. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your trading in the coming week.